Have you ever wondered why Gemini is represented by twins? Well, it's not because they were born under the same zodiac sign. Well, that's not the only reason. It's actually because of a pair of brothers whose bond was so powerful that one of them was willing to give up eternity just to avoid living without the other. And their story might be one of the saddest in all of Greek mythology. So, who were these twins? And what could possibly convince the king of the gods to rewrite the rules of life and death? Well, it all began with a queen named Leda. If you know anything about Zeus, he sort of does whatever he wants. He also loved to disguise himself. One thing he couldn't resist was interfering with the lives of mortals. This time, he disguised himself as a swan and approached Queen Leda of Sparta. And without being too graphic, not long after they met, Queen Leda laid two eggs. Yeah, Greek mythology can be weird sometimes. And when those eggs finally hatched, out came twin brothers, Castor and Pollux. But there was something very unusual about them. Pollux was the son of Zeus, meaning he was born immortal. Castor, however, was the son of Leda's human husband, King Tyndareus, which meant one brother could live forever while the other was destined to eventually die. Despite that difference, the two became inseparable. They trained together, traveled together, fought side by side. Whenever you saw one brother, you would see the other. As they grew older, the twins became legendary. Castor earned a reputation as the greatest horseman in Greece, and Pollux became an undefeated boxer. They even joined Jason and the Argonauts on the dangerous quest for the Golden Fleece. By then, people believed nothing could separate them, until one terrible day. A fight broke out between the twins and two rival brothers. Weapons were drawn, and in the chaos, Castor was struck. For the very first time, Pollux couldn't save him. He watched his brother die helplessly. The only person he'd spent his entire life with died in his arms. Pollux was devastated. His greatest gift had suddenly become his greatest curse. Because he was immortal, that meant that he had to keep living without his brother forever. Unable to bear the pain, Pollux begged Zeus, "Take away my immortality. If Castor must die, then let me die with him." Even Zeus, the king of gods, who wasn't known to get emotional, was moved by that request. Instead of forcing the brothers apart forever, Zeus made a choice that no one expected. He allowed them to share immortality. According to some versions of this myth, the brothers would spend one day in Mount Olympus and one day in the underworld and never separated again. This explains why Gemini isn't just about being twins. It represents brotherhood, partnership, loyalty. To make sure their story would never be forgotten, Zeus placed Castor and Pollux among the stars as the constellation Gemini, and that is the origin of Gemini.